I tell you all, these long wigs, they just be tangled and it's very frustrating, annoying. They have all those kind of hacks you can do, but it's still nothing you can really do to help that. Hey! Hi! In the center, in the center. Hi! Hi! Hello! I was about to burp, you guys. We just ate. Let it go. Okay, I just burped. It's a part of life. Hey! Hi! Oh, don't do this to me. No, don't do this to me. No, we're just sisters. That's the older sister, and I'm the youngest.
Hi!
Hey!
How are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Good. It's hot today.
Yeah, indeed. So how's your weekend going?
Just relaxing. I actually saw this really good movie. It's called Queen of Katwe. It's pretty much like a Nigerian Ugandan movie. And it's pretty much about this young teenage girl. She becomes one of the top chess players. It was inspirational. I liked it.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Ew. Shall we wait a little bit? Right, or what?
It's up to you.
What you want to do? You want to wait a little bit? Or should we start now? What time is it? It's okay. Well, we have some questions that we would like to. Thank you for being on our live. And the first question that we always ask is, when did you realize you were a nerd?
When I was a nerd. Honestly, since I was a baby, coming out of my mother's stomach. No, I was kidding. But ever since I was little, I mean, well, to be honest with you, I didn't really have to make friends growing up because I was kind of like the one black girl at the school, so I didn't really fit in with anybody. But I was really good with math and stuff. I mean, like in third grade, my teacher, she did like this thing where she timed us on our timetables. So we had to complete a multiplication worksheet within 30 minutes. No, not 30 minutes, within 10 seconds. And me and my best friend, we usually got it finished on time. And she said if we kept it up, getting 100%, at least 10, 12 times, we would get 2 big candy bars. And my best friend, she got it first. I forgot what candy bar she got, but she shared with me because she felt like, shit, we're smart, we deserve this. And then I got it second, and I got Three Musketeers.
Ooh.
Because I like Musketeers at the time. I was like, I like this. I was bullied a lot growing up, but the teachers liked me because I was just always on my books and my studies, and my parents was like, get an education. And then one of my favorite moments growing up was in 5th grade. My teacher wrote this big, huge algebra problem on the board, and we had to do 5 steps of it, 5 to 10 steps. I figured it out. I just took the time, looked at it, and calculated all in my head in 5 minutes. And my teacher was like, how'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know. So I just thought, so it's like I mostly grew up mostly to myself, but then I also like to read and stuff. And then some of my friends, they like to read. And I usually hang out with a lot of my friends who like reading anime or different books and stuff. And people are just like, oh, they're weird, you shouldn't hang out with them. And I'm like, why can't I just be friends with everybody in general? So it's like I've been watching a lot of anime, and when I was little, my very first anime was Sailor Moon, and that was before I even got into school. I was like 4 years old, so it was always there. Yeah.
So, like, growing up, like, how was it, like, as far as, like, maybe, like, siblings, or, like, cousins, how did you like anime and nerd culture, I guess?
How did I get into anime and nerd culture? Oh, mostly just watching a lot of anime on Toonami Cartoon Network, watching a lot of cartoons. And then I didn't start going to conventions until like 2016 because I wasn't really big on conventions, but I was reading a lot, especially in school, and just watching a lot of TV. And my favorite moments is like my best friends. Some of my best friends who like Dragon Ball Z, Digimon, Pokemon, they'll come over to my house and we would just watch anime together. Or I would come over to their house and watch anime. Yeah.
Excuse me, my throat is itchy. I don't have the corona.
Corona.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to say I love your Sonya Blade cosplay. It's cute.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I know we're kind of like all well, we're asking some different questions, and it might kind of be all over the place. But one of the we wanted to ask you is like, how did you get into gaming?
What got me into gaming?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that was literally when I was a baby. It's about because I don't really remember much, but my father, he always used to play different games and stuff. And then, okay, I'll give like a little history about my gaming history, if that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Go.
All right. So when I was about 3 or 4, my very first gaming console was Nintendo, and I played mostly Mario. Then my mother would take me to a laundromat, and they had like different games from like Jurassic Park, Street Fighter, Streets of Rage, just different arcade games. And yeah, I used to run up and down the laundromat a lot. I was just a happy child. But then what caught my interest was like the arcade games, and it was like love at first sight. So I didn't know how to play the games, of course, because I was little, but I was mashing buttons like I was winning, and it kept saying insert coin. And that's what got me into gaming. I was just like, I want these games. So it switched to Mario, and then I went to PlayStation 1. And my very first games were Tarzan and Rugrats: The Search for Reptar. And they were really hard games. Very hard, difficult. And then my very first fighting game, because I like fighting games now, was Powerpuff Girls. Because I used to be obsessed with Powerpuff Girls since I was little. Like, I used to have the Powerpuff Girls comforter, the lunchbox, the backpack, shoes, barrettes, because my mom used to plait my hair in barrettes when I was little, the shirt, belt, just Powerpuffed out. I think I was just obsessed. So it was Powerpuff Girls, and then I had some games from like Simpsons. Oh yeah, it was PlayStation 1. Then it was PlayStation 2. I switched to Dragon Ball Z games. I started collecting all the Dragon Ball Z games that came out for PlayStation 2. And then I was playing Kingdom Hearts and Simpsons Hit and Run. That was my favorite. And then I would play GTA sometimes with one of my friends, or they'll play Smash Brothers. So that was fun. So from PS2, I got the 360 first. No. Was it 360? No, I got the PS3 first. And PS3, we got a couple of games, but there wasn't that many out, so I was still on the PS2. But then my brother, he decided to get the 360 because that's when we were introduced to online chat where you could just talk to people online and stuff. I was completely new. I'm like, wow, gaming has really advanced. I didn't know you could do all of that. And so I got into Tekken. And I started trying, and then I was just like, what got me to Tekken was my half brother. He brought the game over one day, and then he is just like, you want to play this game? I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember playing this game. I used to play this game all the time when I was little, but I never owned any of the games. But then the more he came over and brought the game, the more I started playing it. And then I started to get really competitive because I grew up kind of competitive. I used to play soccer and stuff. But anyway, so I actually started beating some people. And my half brother, he's just like, you're actually pretty good at this. You should keep playing. And then after that, I just fell in love and I became obsessed. So it's like I started playing Tekken more. And that's when I was 16. So it's like 16, I was just mostly coming home from school playing either Tekken or Left 4 Dead. And I played Tekken for 10 years. So pretty much I played Tekken 6 for the Xbox 360 and Left 4 Dead. And then once the PS4 came out, actually Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag 2. I kept playing Tekken Tag 2, Left 4 Dead. And then I also played sometimes Saints Row and GTA. And then once the PS4 came out, I started playing Tekken 7, which I still play now. And right now, I'm currently playing Tekken 7, GTA, Saints Row, and a whole bunch of games. But I focus the most on Tekken because it's something I grew up with. And it's been a long freaking time since I played it. So it's like, eventually I do want to compete. And just to see how far I go and just meet people, because it's very competitive, but I would like to meet people from all over the world who play the game. Because the top people I think who play are like Koreans and people from Pakistan, but there's people from France, Africa. It's just like a whole melting pot of people who play. So if I compete, I want to definitely connect with other people. So that's my gaming history.
Okay, back to like with gaming, like what tips would you give someone that like wants to get better at fighting games?
Fighting games? Well, my very first tip I always give someone, especially someone who plays Tekken, they're like, okay, Teely, how did I start playing? I'm like, this is for any fighting game in general. Just pick someone you like. Like, pick a character you can relate to. You don't have to relate to them, but just like them. Like, if you like their style, how they look, if you like their personality, or if you like that they could fight, or you like them just because of the fact they're like one of the best characters, just pick them up. Like, play with anybody you want. And just take the time to really learn their moves. And then, of course, there's a lot of resources, too, nowadays. So it's like, if someone wants to pick up Lily from Tekken, right, there's like a whole bunch of videos on YouTube about how to play with her. And then there's moves in the game, too. So there's that. And I would say don't play with somebody just because everybody else is playing with them. Just play with them because you want to. That's your character. That's your signature character. That's like your best friend. So you're going to help your best friend out.
Yeah, sure.
And I say definitely have fun and just make friends. I mean, there's people who might be better than you and they can help you out too. I mean, because it's like when I got into Tekken, there were a lot of people better than me because I remember when I first played, I didn't know how to do a combo. I was just mashing buttons, but I was still winning. And people who didn't know how to do combos, they were whooping my butt. But then it's like they just message me good games, and they'll just give me tips along the way on how to get better and stuff. So I took those tips, and I still talk to some of my Tekken friends to this day who have it on PlayStation, and they're always giving me tips on how to get better.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm pretty competitive.
Oh, nothing wrong with that. Well, I'm sure, like if you like do like a competition, so you'll definitely like break in the bed.
Yeah, I do look up to some female players too who play, but I don't have a favorite. I don't have a favorite tournament player either. I just look up to their game styles, like how each of them play different, how they analyze the game. Yep. That's my game. That's my signature game.
We did have a question though, like as far as like gaming and like being like female.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kendra, she was telling me that some there's like discrimination and things like that, like there's like being female in a game. Like, seen that?
Is there discrimination against females? Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, pretty much like, despite there's good females, it's like for some reason it's like we're not necessarily good enough because the majority of tournaments are usually by male, females try. And then there could be some kind of sexism, and I know like in the FGC, which is also known as the fighting game community, there is a lot of sexual harassment towards female gamers or females who attend the tournaments and stuff. So it's like we still have a long ways to go. And then I mean, there's like, for example, there's a time I was playing the game and online this dude was just like, and that's why women belong in the kitchen. They shouldn't be playing fighting games. And I'm like, you're lucky you're online. I'll punch you in the face. And that was back when I was like 18, I think, playing the game. And I wasn't really focused, so I didn't really care at losing. But the fact he said that, I'm like, anyone could play a video game. I mean, you're just moving your hands. But there's like that. And then there's also racism too in the FGC and fighting game community, because there's a while back, like I think 2 or 4 years back, there's this top Street Fighter player named Chris G, who he gets paid a lot for playing Street Fighter, and he was talking about someone leaked out some really, really racist tweets he said about Black women in the fighting game industry. And he just said, like, Black women can't play, they're ratchet and they're ghetto. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And the crazy thing is he didn't lose his sponsorship at the time. So it's like, during that time, there's, like, a lot of bad tension and people agreeing with it, saying, yeah, they're right, Black women can't play and stuff. So at the time, I was just like, ugh. I ignored it, but it encouraged me to step my game up. Oh, someone says, I heard that the game community doesn't have the best rep. Yeah, it doesn't have the best reputation. But gaming is only like, I say like 20% of what I like to do, but I don't look at it as a career. I look at it as more of a hobby, because I know it's like, it won't really last. And plus, there's always going to be somebody better than me. So I look at that too. And it's very rare to even really make money in the community. Like, for example, like, Tekken's a competitive game. You can play in tournaments, but some people don't make as much money as compared to someone who plays Fortnite or a more popular game. It's mostly like, it's not just a community, it's also depends on the game, like which is more mainstream and stuff like that. So I always have like other outlets to fall back on besides just gaming. But gaming, I do love to play on my free time. And when someone has something very rude or racist or hateful to say, I just either block them or I just ignore them in general, because they're not worth my time. And it's not, and it doesn't consider me getting paid or money, then they're definitely not worth my time.
Right, it should be fun. Exactly. It should be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be all about fun, but I feel like it's gaming is evolving for good and bad, because gaming, especially in tournaments and stuff, it brings people together, but at the same time, it also creates racism, hate, or jealousy, because it depends on who's good or who has sex appeal or who knows who. Like, if you know somebody who's pretty much at the top, then you'll be known too, and you're gonna either get a lot of hate or a lot of love.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is messed up.
Are you playing Saints Row Remastered tonight? Yeah, I might play it tonight. I love Saints Row. It's a funny game.
What is that about?
Oh, Saints Row. It's literally just exactly like Grand Theft Auto, except it's just a cartoon. It's like a cartoon version of it, but it's so funny.
That sounds fun.
It is fun, and there's co-op too, so it's like people can help you with missions and stuff. Like, and what's cool is you can customize your character however you want, and you can get them huge tits or whatever. And I used to play Saints Row 4 on 360 with my friend Cortez, and whenever we play, I'm like, Cortez, jiggle, jiggle, run. Like, I be so random when I game. I get really hyped.
Thank you. Bye. Thanks for popping in.
Do you love your cosplay? I love your guys' cosplay in general. Like, you guys always bring it out.
Thank you.
You too.
Yeah. And speaking of cosplay, what cosplay?
What's my favorite cosplay?
Oh, yeah, what got you into cosplay? And you can share what your favorite cosplay is too.
Oh wait, what about cosplay? What got me into cosplay?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually a funny story. So, of course, I usually like dressing up for Halloween, but when I went to my first con in LA, I went as Storm for X-Men, and I thought it was perfect because it's Comic Con, it's comic books, it's like X-Men. I love X-Men. That's my favorite. That's my favorite team. My favorite comics to read in Marvel. I'm gonna do Rogue later because she's my personal favorite.
Yeah, I love.
But anyway, so I went as Storm, and then every time I went somewhere around the con, everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's Storm!" I'm like, "It's just a costume." And everybody's like, "Can we take pictures? You're so beautiful." And they're like, "Are you a cosplayer?" And I'm like, "Well, not yet, but I'm getting there." And they're like, "You should definitely cosplay. You're freaking beautiful." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Well, I do like to dress up, and I don't really change my hair as much, but I wear wigs, so why not?" It's a fun hobby for me. It can be expensive, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite cosplay that you have done?
Definitely Storm because it was my breakout, and then currently my Rosario Vampire too.
I love it.
Because it's my favorite. It's one of my favorite animes, and I did my favorite characters, so I loved it. And then hopefully the next one I'm doing Poison, and I'm gonna redo my Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
Yes. We can't wait to see them.
Thank you.
Well, pink hair looks really good on you too, by the way.
I like pink hair. Like pink's my favorite color. It's one of my favorite colors. I like pink, blue, purple, and black. Those are my four favorite colors. Yeah. But I feel like I don't know. There's also problems within the cosplay community too, though. Yeah, because it's like, especially when the other day I saw that little ignorant comment, I'm like, I roll my eyes, like, it's just ignorant. Especially, it gets annoying too. Every time a black cosplayer does a character, you always get the most common comments like, "Well, so and so isn't black," and it's like, "Well, so and so isn't white either."
We just talked about that the other day. I don't know.
Yeah. But I feel like in general, with society, we have long ways to go. Definitely. In gaming and cosplay, everywhere. Like Black Lives Matter is a start, but there's still a lot of hate and racism. Especially when you go online, you don't really experience it that much in person because people don't really have the guts to say what they want to say. But like online, people could say whatever they want because they couldn't get hit. I keep telling my friends, one of these days, I don't know how, but I'm gonna create an app. I'm gonna create an invention. Someone say something really messed up, you could virtually punch them in the face, and I'll get $1 million for that.
Keyboard are the worst. It's like a bunch of punks, just typing behind a keyboard, and it's just like, but you wouldn't say that to the person's face.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody knows who they are, like their location, like you were saying, so like they can't go like right up to you, like, hey, what were you saying? And they won't even show themselves, like they won't even have like a picture of their actual self either. It's like you're bold enough to post it, but they can't even show what you look like. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like there's a point where I was at a very low point. This was back in 2017. I pretty much received like a whole bunch of death threats.
What?
Yeah, it's because like I was going through some things, and then I accidentally lashed out on another gamer, and then she had like a huge fan base, and her whole fan base just pretty much attacked me. But that's over now because I apologized and I just moved on. But at one point, she really took it hard and tried to get me banned from tournaments. But it's over now. The hate, like, all I gotta say is for anybody who goes through hate or death threats on the internet, all you can do is block them and just carry on.
True.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Did you see what Otaku People said to him?
I see that. But yeah, I don't pay. Well, my parents are always said Tana's a nice person. She's just sensitive. So it's like now, because I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, when I was a little kid, I used to cry a lot. I was a crybaby because I was bullied a lot. But now that I'm older, I just ignore negativity.
And you're such a sweet person too. So I'm like, like someone's a nice people. Everyone wants to bother.
Yeah. But there's still people still talking about the incident and just like, whatever.
Well, they need to let it go. Really.
So, any other questions?
Well, I guess we could go back into like anime. Like, what
Ooh.
anime now?
What anime I'm watching now? I actually want to get into Fire Force.
You should!
Like, I see so much character representations. And, oh my gosh, speaking of anime, I'm actually working on anime series. I'm writing it. I want to talk to you guys about my series. Oh, this is for people too watching. It's just like inside coverage. I'm not gonna spoil all of it because I'm still writing the episodes. But okay, so it's like I'm not really into horoscopes, but it's kind of like based off that a bit. So it's like the main character, he's a Taurus, and he could transform into like this bull-like creature. He looks like a bull, but then he's also part human. So it's like each character, there's 12 main characters. Each character can transform into a different creature, and they have special abilities. But when they transform, their abilities become stronger. And then one of the characters counters another character. So it's like I'm still developing it, but I like the concept. And there's pretty much a lot of action. It's pretty intense, but the main character, he keeps to himself, and he's just whatever. But the first episode, he meets a girl, and she has mind control, and they get into a fight. But she gets really emotional and lashes out, and then he later talks to her about why you lashed out. And then the episode ends with one of the main character's roommates. He goes to an evil organization that wants him dead and the girl dead because they're different. And the whole theme of the show is about xenophobia, which is pretty much like the fear of someone who's different from you, or who hates you, or who's racist towards you. And they want them dead because of the fact they're different and they have powers. And the main character, his roommate and his teacher are in on the organization. So the teacher was like, do you really want them around? I mean, this dude can make earthquakes. He could kill you. And he's like, oh, you got a point. I don't want that. So the first episode, the main character fights with the girl who has mind control. But then they become friends. Then the second episode, they fight another powerful girl, and she has abilities to turn to a siren. And then pretty much she has the power to create rain, but then it rains blood, and then pretty much it can burn people's skin if she's pissed off. But if she's happy, she can create regular rain that heals people. So each character has like a special ability, and they have to fight against each other. They don't have to, but they do it on first encounter. They fight against each other. And so the thing is, the more each of the main characters fight against each other, the more they actually die out, and they become weaker when using their powers. So eventually they have to work together, and they have to work together to fight against this evil organization that wants them dead too, or to live.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually right now I'm at 31 pages of the first episode, and I'm almost done with it.
You're so creative. I know.
Yeah, because how I thought about the animated series was like me and my best friends in game 2. One of them's a Scorpio, and the other one's a Libra, and they're like, well, we all have powers. What would you give me? And then I was like, I'll give you this and this. They're like, that sounds dope. You should make your own show. I'm like, hey, it's a possibility. I didn't think about it until then, but then now I'm getting back into writing and stuff, I'm just like, you know what? I should just take advantage. I mean, it's my creativity. It's my writing, so do what I want to do.
That's right. Good.
Yeah.
Talking.
Well, hopefully I'll finish the first episode by next week. So if you guys want, I could just email you a script.
Yeah,
you guys can read it over.
Yeah, I'm excited. So John Reverie said, I don't like reading, but I definitely listen to the audio. Oh yeah, audiobook would be nice too. And you could do like the voices for it since you're like a voice actress.
Oh, yeah. I do different voices. Okay. I'll do a couple of voice impressions. So there's Herbert the Pervert. Okay. You watch the popsicles? I know you watch the popsicles. I got some popsicles in the basement. And then there's Bubbles. Hi, this is Bubbles from Papa Girls. I just want to say, what's up and happy 4th of July. It's a very beautiful day. And I could do like an anime kid voice. People call it Kid Trunks, but I don't think so. But it's just like different. It's like, so, do you guys want to go skateboarding? Like, it's my first day off, so I'm kind of bored, but we can do whatever you want. And then I could just do a typical Valley Girl voice, like, oh my god, so like today I was so freaking bored. I thought I almost missed my pumpkin spice latte. Like, where is my pumpkin spice latte? Like, oh my gosh.
So how did you get into like, doing that different voices and all that?
It was just always within me. Well, okay, so when I was 10, I did my first play, and it was Wizard of Oz. And I wanted to originally go for the Wicked Witch because I thought the Wicked Witch was like, first she was bad, but she had a reason to be bad. Because like when you think about the plot, it's messed up. Because at first I'm cheering for Dorothy, but at the same time I'm like, okay, this white girl, excuse me, this white girl stole your sister's shoes, landed with her house, and she just took off and killed your sister. I'd be pissed too. Oh, like we gonna beef. Like you killed my sister, and we gonna have problems. We gonna beef.
But those were some really cute shoes, though.
Huh?
I said those were some really cute shoes, though.
Yeah, they were. No, they were some cute shoes. I'm like, you took my sister's shoes too. We gonna beef. Like we enemies forever. But anyway, so it's like I thought about that. And I also like the Wicked Witch's personality too, especially when she's like, "I'll get you, my pretty." It's like it's so dark and meaningful. like she's like, "I'm gonna get you. You hurt my sister. I'm gonna get you." Hey, But anyway, so my director, he's just like, that was pretty good. But he's like, but I don't think you're really cut out for the Wicked Witch. I'm like, why not? He's like, well, no, you're too much of a good girl. But then he's just like, on top of that, your voice is actually stronger than a Wicked Witch. Like, you have a more powerful voice. So instead of Wicked Witch, he gave me the part of Oz. And I'm like, yeah. I can do guy voices too if I really want to, but I don't want to now. I used to do it for fun when I was a kid, but now I'm older and stuff. It's just weird because I'm a female. But I used to do guy voices a lot when I was a kid too, so girls and guys. So when I was Oz, at first I was just like, I don't know. But then he gave me the script, and then Oz had like over 100, 300 lines. I don't know. But Oz was like one of the leading roles. And when you're a leading role, it also means that you have more stage presence, which means I'm on stage more. So I like that. It's like, yay, I get more attention. Like more people are watching me. So I'm just like, yeah, I'll take the role. And it was fun. Like when I was Oz, I was just mostly yelling at everybody. I'm like, silence. I'm in control. You have to listen to me. But it was really fun. So ever since then, my director, he's just like, you should really get into acting because you have a very strong voice. And then some of my other classmates supported me too. And they said, yeah, it's really there. But unfortunately, after that, my mom, she's still like, no, go to school, finish school first. But now since I'm done with school, I'm finished college and everything, I want to get back into acting. And I'm writing my anime series so that I could, not only I could pretty much be in charge of it in a way, but I could also act one of the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I could do a very cute voice, like I was imitating Julia from Tekken earlier.
Yeah. I want to hear.
Yes, because Julia was funny. She's like, straight over, you ready? And then I used to do Lily's a lot from Tekken 6. Like, she's like, Sebastian, decided I'm leaving already. It's time for my afternoon tea. Farewell. Marilyn, best friend. Gamer B, that's one of my best friends.
Oh,
yeah. She's awesome. But anyway, so it's like I want to work on that series because I'm really passionate about it. And also it will be like a project I can have under my belt and to say that it's my resume. So it's like if I apply for other acting roles, people like, what have you done? And the project goes really well, everybody like, whoa, this girl's really talented. And it's like, okay, we could sign her. So I'm just working on being my own independent artist before working with bigger companies or bigger agencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially it's very competitive now too to even break out into acting. So I suggest, like, I'm not saying suggest, but I feel like if people want to get into acting in general, especially beginner actor, just keep practicing with your voice and just do your own projects. Because if people see that you're putting work to do your own stuff, then they might look at you instead of just being clueless and trying to find like an agent. The agent, and majority of the time, the agent's gonna reject you or say you don't have talent.
Right.
Yeah, because it's pretty hard.
Or they like try to, or sometimes like they try to like mold the person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you already like with your, your own like ideas, things like that. It's like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. You know?
Exactly.
And, yeah. It's best to be independent.
Is that like, because I used to write, I still write, but back then I wrote like a lot of poems and mini plays and stuff. So it's like, I'm getting back into that because I can computer program too, because that's my current job. But writing is my main passion. That's like my artistic side. So I was hoping that whatever money I make from computers, I could use that to fund my writing projects into something bigger. And I don't know, it's just like I have a lot of ideas. Like, I'm always thinking about something. Like, something's always coming up.
It's good though. You're thinking about them, and then when you get the time, just go for it. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you have like that word back, don't act out. It's like, what? I should have did this and that.
Yeah. I don't think I told you guys. I actually made my own app before.
What?
Yeah. It's on my page, but I can send you the link later. But it's just a matching app. So it's like, those little mini concentration games where you have to match like the pictures together and then it disappears when you match them. Mm-hmm. So I made a app like that. Except the theme is Tekken. Okay. Well, I love Tekken, of course, but pretty much it was during this one computer science class I was taking, and he said, and it was actually a science class teaching us how to create mobile apps. And one of the projects was making a matching game, and we had to come up with our own theme. So I was just like, I'll just use Tekken theme because there's over 50 characters, and I just need a few just to match up. And I got an A on it, and it still works well to this day. So if you guys want to test it out on your computers, just let me know.
Yeah, fun.
Yeah, I actually made a multiplayer too, so you could just switch characters and stuff. Oh, but then it's like, what got me into computer programming was college. I'm not talking about computer science either, because I didn't go for computer science. My major was literally English. But the thing is, okay, I attended SCSU in California, but we're taking a zombie course, okay? A course about zombies. Like, we got to write about zombie video games, zombie movies, anything zombie or horror, which is really awesome. And then we had the opportunity to visit Sony Online Entertainment, where we could game test to play video games. And we actually got the chance to test out H1Z1. And H1Z1 at that time, it wasn't even invented yet. So it's like they were still developing it. And I thought that was really awesome. So they interviewed me on the spot. They wanted to give me a job there as an intern, but the thing is I didn't have any computer programming experience. So I went back to school as a computer programmer, and now it's like I learned how to design my own little apps and stuff. So that's pretty much what I do, but I'm definitely going to write more.
They said, hi, Tekken queen. Yup, she's the queen of Tekken.
Hello. Oh, thank you, Nerd Lounge.
A lady of many talents. Yes, she is creative. I love it. So, like, how do you create an app? Like, I always wondered it. Like, what is the process in doing it?
If it's like a mini app, you can create a calculator. All you really need is just YouTube videos to do like a tutorial of it. Then you can also, if you want to, you could probably find PDFs of how to program or code in Java or C++, because there's not many women who do that type of thing. It's like women, they're doing other things, and the computer industry is pretty difficult. But you could definitely learn on your own, and I think there's like certain programs where you could actually create your own apps and stuff. Like for my Tekken game app, I use Android Studio. So,
okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Like, wow, that's pretty cool. I can only touch her with this.
Yeah, we were talking about Tekken earlier.
Oh, speaking of Tekken again, who is like your bae on Tekken? Like, who you have a crush on Tekken?
Oh my gosh, here we go. Okay, so when I was a teenager, it used to be Harong. Because he did Taekwondo and he has spiky hair and goggles, like he remind me of like Digimon status. I'm like, I love Harong, but now it's actually, as I'm older, it's more of Lars, because Lars, he has very good manners. He's a gentleman, and then it's like, if I play tag too, if you pair Lars up with Alyssa in the game, and you win, Alyssa falls on the ground, Lars picks her up, and he's just like, and he helps her clean up and stuff. I'm like, he's such a gentleman, he's so handsome. And it's like, I'm like, Jin, like if you pair Jin up with Zhao Yu in the game, and you guys win, Zhao Yu trips on the ground, and Jin doesn't even bother to pick her up. He just looks down on her. I'm like, that is so rude. I'm like, she needs to leave him. I'm like, Zhao Yu, leave Jin alone. He don't like you. You can do better.
Oh my gosh.
Tag 2 is offline now. Oh yeah, I still play Tag 2 once in a while, but I play Tekken 7 more because that's the current one. Everybody's just playing it nowadays.
Mm-hmm. So, question?
Oh, I want to ask you guys something. Who are your favorite characters in Tekken?
That's a good question. Honestly, I'm thinking, like, I really don't have a favorite character, to be honest with you. Like you, I like Julia. Yeah, you were obsessed with Julia. Yeah, I like Julia. That's just me.
I like Julia too. She's actually my main in the current game.
Okay.
Like, yeah. She's my main character in the current game. I play with her the most.
I just like her style. I like her, like design, her clothing, and I like her fighting style. Yeah.
Me too. I might get back into Street Fighter because when I used to play Street Fighter when I was younger, I always used to use Cammy.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
That's mostly why. I used to play with Cammy and Jury. Oh, he likes Samina and Lisa. Samina's my second main, and then Jai's my third main.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I really have a favorite character. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's his name? I like Heihachi too.
Oh,
You do?
Heihachi, he's my favorite Mishima to use in the game. Because there's Heihachi, there's Kazuya, and there's Jin. They're like a great top 3 Mishimas. But Heihachi's my favorite. Because he's just so strong. It's just like, if I play as a Heihachi, I don't know what to do sometimes. He's just like, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna kill me.
Yeah, like, he was bad. It's like, if I was you, you definitely would be, you'd be a bad. You know? Yeah. Just... You're so silly.
But one game I hope they bring back is definitely Bloody Roar.
Yeah.
Because I read this article that Konami brought back the trademark for the game. So if they brought back the trademark, chances are they might bring the game back. And if they bring the game back, I'm definitely competing.
Okay. Yeah, we'll play it. I mean, we ain't as good as you, but yeah, we'll play it.
Yeah, it's like some people don't understand fighting games, so it's like a hit and miss. Like some people don't like fighting games because it's pretty difficult to understand and it's difficult to block everything. But if you learn from a friend, it becomes easier and easier. And it's just mostly memorization. It's just memory. That's all it is. Oh, Galaxy Scientist.
How do you like memorize like the moves and things? Cause like you play like a wide variety of games and stuff.
I know it's difficult because every character in the game has like over 100 moves, right? So
oh my gosh,
so it's a lot. I don't know how I do it though. It's just I memorize some moves, but I don't memorize everything. Okay, I'll give you a little Tekken tip, like Tekken 101. So it's like two moves I don't memorize. Those are grabs, because grabs you can do anytime, and there's 10-hit combos. So 10-hit combos are just 10 buttons you press continuously. But the thing is, if you're playing as a really skilled player, they'll just stop the combo. So I'll memorize all the moves. Just only important ones I know that people fall for.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
It was something, I don't think it was Tekken. It was Mortal Kombat. It was on TV, but it was like the competitive, like people competing.
Oh yeah.
Like they was just looking serious. They were just like, shh. It was like, oh wow.
Mm-hmm. They do that a lot. I think the current top Mortal Kombat player is this guy named Sonic Fox. He's really good. Like very good. He's even good at Injustice and Marvel vs. Capcom. Oh, okay. So it's like, shoot. I'm like, I want to be put on the scene one day. I just need to go out and get there.
You can do it. Yes.
Yeah.
You're a genius.
Thank you. He's like, I know how to push buttons.
Yes. My brother called us button smashers or mashers. That's button what we did.
Yep.
I just hit him as fast as I can. That's all I did.
I used to button mash too until people started wolfing my butt because they knew combos. And I'm just like, fine. If you can learn combo, I can learn combo too. Let's do this. And if my very first Tekken main used to be Christy because she is really easy. But then I picked up Lily because I like how Lily did gymnastics and her combos are really easy. So that got me into the basics of doing combos. And then once I was done with learning Lily, I just started going around the roster and picking up characters with more difficult combos.
They call her to say, oh yeah. My brother got mad. We were playing Tekken one time. It's like, what is that?
Like, stop button mashing. I'm like, no.
Play the game. Like, I don't, you know.
Exactly. I mean, some people too, they sometimes do want button mashing too, so I don't even get mad about it. I'm just like, learn how to beat it, or just say good game and carry on.
Oh my god.
Huh?
I was talking to Christy. I was like, what else? What question?
Um,
Oh,
hmm.
this is something else you're like wondering because like, would you ever like maybe like as far as like creating like your own fighting game? Has that ever been anything that you might have thought about?
Honestly, that's what I've been thinking about. Like, I don't know. It's like I feel like I have a lot of goals I can accomplish. Because especially my series, because in my series, there's like a couple fights. There's gonna be some fight scenes. My first episode has a fight scene, and pretty much the 12 main characters all have powers and abilities. They fight against each other. So I was just thinking, like, if that becomes popular or whatever, I could just turn it into a game, and then they can all fight each other.
That would be amazing. That is true.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know. Like I can work a 9 to 5 too, but I feel like if I want to, I can go beyond that. Just beyond 9 to 5, I can actually pursue my dreams. I just have to actually put the effort into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sir John, he said
Oh,
he'll
he
make
says
the
don't make the music. That'd be sweet.
that'd be a cool collab.
Yeah, I would.
You know, I would love like because I know you gave us like descriptions of your characters. I would love to see like how they would look like drawn.
Oh yeah, I actually gave them character descriptions too. Like, okay, so the first main character, his name is Koji. He has shaggy black hair and he has red eyes. No, he does not have red eyes. He has black eyes, and he's just generally handsome. But the second main character, Janeep, who he fights in the first episode, she's actually a very attractive black female because I want black characters in my series. And okay, so Koji, he's from the main character. Koji, he's from England, and Janeep, she's from the Caribbean, but then she moves to the Americans. I'm trying to make her a little relatable to my character, to my personality, because I'm Caribbean. Oh, my father's from the Caribbean. He's from St. Croix. So I just thought about, let's just make like make it diverse, very versatile. Make like a diversity of characters, and then I have another black character. His name is, I think it's Simon. Yeah, I think it's Simon. It's either Simon or Malik. I forgot which one I made black. But Simon, he pretty much has the power to transform into any animal and mythical creature, and he's a wrestler. And which means mythical creature. He can also transform into a gargoyle. He could transform into a griffin or a saber-tooth tiger or even a dinosaur. Like, he just has to be creative. And Malik, he has the ability to poison people. But then when he transforms, Malik has a scar. When he touches on a scar, whoever he poisons, he could turn them into one of the most poisonous animals, as it's like frogs, snakes, spiders, to help him fight in battle. But then once he touches his scar back, the people turn back. Like, it's just really great. I just think about stuff like that. I just want to give them different powers. Like, that's kind of like different. And each character is powerful in their own way. So it's like they don't really have weaknesses. I think the only weakness they have is just each other. Because when they fight each other more, they realize that they weaken each other more the more they fight.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe to like on like the anime team in Hollywood, writing scripts, watching videos. Yeah. My goodness. We and Chris were talking about that. Like, a lot of shows today, they're not creative.
Like, I agree.
They need people like you.
And then it's like, you see on BT isn't even black owned. It's just mostly, it's either Baby Boy or mostly Tyler Perry. Okay, I'm not gonna knock Tyler Perry down for his hustle, but it's like, there's other black writers than just Tyler Perry, you know?
Right.
But I just feel like with that, they just don't really have the connections. So it's like how I want to do. I want to try to play it smart. I just want to make my own projects first, and then once I'm confident, get more writing projects out there, so I can just work for BET or some way one day. But I'm just taking it slow for now because I want to be my own independent writer, and not necessarily work for a company.
Right. Yeah, Taku Fifi said Hollywood needs some originality.
It
Agreed.
does. I agree. It definitely does. And then I saw this one post, like, I posted in my story that it was talking about there's racism in the film industry in Hollywood, which is true because it's mostly white owned and there's not many black actors or people of color anyway or writers. And then this one girl, she's just like, well, I don't really see racism. Like, it's not really racist because it's just the fact most majority of the country is made up of white and stuff. So, and I just said I slightly disagree, but I'll respect your opinion. I just left it at that because it's like, well, you see it that way, but there are people of color who can write and can come up with a lot of creations, but it's just a fact there's more white people, so it's like there's racism too, especially when it's like when you're an actor, it's like sometimes white people or whoever will tell you how to perform or portray a character a certain way, and you may not be for it, so they don't get the chance to play that role.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get copyrighted. Definitely. Yeah, that's a very good idea. I told my family about like what I'm gonna do. Like I'm getting myself copyrighted. No one's taking my ideas. No, thank you.
Because that happens like a lot too. Like just like like in like the past, like a lot of in music, black people songs, and then they didn't have any idea what was going on. They just took their work and then somebody else like whitewashed it, and then they got the credit for it, which is not cool. But
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, that's like about like Hollywood and things like that with like black people, other people, like with like acting and how they were like discriminated against and stuff, like in old Hollywood. Oh, you're talking about? I think is the show called Hollywood? Might be. Yeah, it's called Hollywood. It's on Netflix. And I think it takes place at like the 30s, the 30s and 40s. Yeah, something like that.
Mhm.
Really good. I haven't watched it. Our mom had watched it. Really good.
Yeah, it's just like if I ever give my writing out to agent or whatever, I'm gonna make sure I get my part of the deal because it's like it's my idea. You ain't taking credit for what I write because that's what happens to a lot of people flop or not necessarily flop. They're there, but they don't really get credit for their work. And I actually watched a documentary about this guy. He was like only one of the few black animators for Disney, and he wrote like parts. He wrote and drew parts of Dumbo and Toy Story and all of those other works that we grew up watching as Disney kids, but they didn't really give him credit or anything for it. They didn't label it. He got paid, but he wasn't getting recognition for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I don't want. I was like, I want to be like, this is my idea. It's like, Tanetta. Well, that's my rule. Like, Tanetta. It's like, Tanetta made this.
Oh, well, speaking about that too was another question, Christina, I wanted to ask you. Like, what's it? Let's see. About like the black anime characters, how they portray. I'm trying to look for the question.
Oh, Barbie cosplay. That's my friend too.
Hi.
I love her.
Cosplayer. But the question was like, how do you feel about black characters, like how they're portrayed in video games and anime? How do you feel?
Well, I'm glad that there's more representation of black characters. Oh, they're bringing it out more, which I'm glad about. And I think I did read this one article where it's like there's this black-owned studio making black anime in Japan or something like that. I'm like, if I submit my work one day, I might submit it to there because we can always use characters of color and everything. And it's like, I feel like black characters have evolved over time. Like they went from like being like thuggish or whatever to having their own superpowers. Like, for example, My Hero Academia, they have Rocklock. Yeah. And he has his own little power, which I think is cool. He's not like the stereotypical black want to be thug, or he's not powerless. He doesn't have a quirk or anything. He actually has power,